Welcome to Part 5 in Parts. I'm Jim.
I'm Sam.
And this is our podcast where we talk about Part 5 Jojo anime.
Yes, by arcs.
Yes, by arc.
With spoilers.
With spoilers for all of Part 5, so.
And more.
Yeah, sometimes and more. Generally we don't, but it's always good to just say that so that people don't be like, I can't believe you spoiled the fact that Funny Valentine kills...
Thanks, Jim.
Yeah.
Sure.
Can't believe you spoiled the fact that Hot Pants and Diego kiss on the cheek.
People wish.
Yeah.
People wish Hot Pants got more action.
I can't believe that you spoil Yasuo having her period.
That's like
and
every
it's a major
chapter.
plot point in
That is a major plot point. That's how she gets to a certain area.
Yeah, maybe not a major plot point. It's definitely a...
It's just how she gets to a fight.
Yeah. All right.
Yes.
So, we're already on a bad start.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't silence my phone.
Well, this episode of our podcast is for two episodes, episode 20 and 21, which is basically the Mystery of King Crimson arc. So.
Yes, so the Mystery of King Crimson, I think the episodes are called The Mystery of King Crimson.
That's 21.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Episode 20 is called The Boss's Last Orders. Episode 21 is called... I feel like I just said 21. The Mystery of King Crimson.
Emperor Crimson on Crunchyroll.
Emperor Crimson, which I will never say because King Crimson is such a good stand name because it's such a good band name.
Are you going to say Deadly Queen or Killer Queen?
Never Deadly Queen. Okay, something fun I've learned.
Only Filthy Axe at a reasonable price will you ever say the alternate stand name.
Yeah, which is a really good translation.
But I'm pretty sure everyone's just going to say D4C on the subtitles.
Yeah. Actually?
Because that's what they do in Eyes of Heaven.
Oh, do they?
They use
he normally just calls it D4C too, like vocally.
The subtitles use D4C. I think only when they put the full name in like the encyclopedia will it just say Filthy Axe at a reasonable price.
All right. Before we get into this, I do want to say I learned recently something that blew my mind. Have you ever heard of Bible Black? Are you aware of
Yes,
Bible Black?
I know of Bible Black.
Did you know that it's a King Crimson reference?
Of course it is.
King Crimson has an album called Bible Black, and that's what they named this anime hentai after. And I thought that was fucking funny. The what's it called? 2 Girls, 1 Cup of anime hentai. 2 Girls, 1 Cup.
It is that challenge you make of this fucked up.
So I guess you can say that about like the notoriety of it.
Yeah,
it definitely is. All right, this has been like way too long.
We're not at our Bible Black podcast yet.
The Bible Black. All right, so yes, the reason why we're talking about King Crimson is because this is the episode. Finally, it's really interesting because this kind of feels like a halfway point, but I feel like it's technically past the halfway point because what do they say? There's only going to be
like 4 or 5
36 episodes.
39. It's usually 39.
Is it 39? I forget.
Yeah, Diamond Unbreakable 39. I believe this one's also going to be 39.
You think that I would have, just like researched anything before starting this?
Nah, we only do that for comic book episodes, and I do that. So I don't know. I think it's 39 because Diamond Unbreakable was also
checking it right
39.
Now. So yes, it's just funny to think that because I think this is like further. Okay, this is terrible. It says the new season is said to be nearly 40 episodes. Why?
That's 39 then.
Yes, part 5 is expected to run for 39 episodes. All right.
Not including the specials.
Yes, not including the specials, thankfully. So this is...
The first episode is a lot of build-up towards the actual encounter.
Yes.
Like, they just have them explain the mission is, going to this island, to this clock tower.
Which I assume must be a real location.
Yeah, I'm not surprised if it actually is an island off of the...
It's one of those things where...
River in Venice.
Yeah, it looks like they just kind of... just took this exact plan of this building and just drew it out. Whatever. I can't formulate my thoughts properly. It looks like a famous cathedral.
Yeah.
But okay, so I want to segue really quick and talk about... I really miss Part 4's inventive color scheme.
Yeah.
Because in this one, it's like they're so tied to realism with the setting.
Yeah.
They're afraid to make the sky, like... If you use interesting colors...
Yeah, Morio had a huge color scheme with the sky, like the settings, the houses, like...
And it just looking... So, yeah.
It was a crazy, noisy, bizarre town,
it was. Say. And I really feel like that aesthetic is so perfect. But throughout this episode, we see lots of shots of the interiors of the
cathedral.
The cathedral that they visit are It looks like they're rendered with CG. Some of the shots look like they're rendered with CG. It just looks like very clean.
It's like the sheen,
digital.
the shine of the floor, especially when you notice like the shot.
Some of the backgrounds are in fact really barren, and it's kind of off-putting, I think. But so yeah, basically, a
lot of build up.
Yeah, basically there's just a lot of build up to this episode.
Giorno gives him his little like ladybug brooch.
It's funny because the whole setup, we got Trish and Bruno going into the thing, and it's funny because I really don't recall so many of the events happening, and I really thought this was going to be like, if in my head when I was recalling it, I thought it was going to be like one episode, because I remember it just being a lot snappier.
Yeah, I thought so too, but we got two, and they're both really good. But yeah,
they are. Yeah, they're really good.
They want to make a lot of build up towards this like first meeting with the boss kind of thing, like build a tension.
And they don't want to blow it like they did with Deadly Queen,
Quality Queen,
yeah, as we call it. Which I don't even know if which version I watched of it. I don't know if it was like the fixed. I guess it wasn't the fixed one because it wasn't the Blu-ray, because I think they only fixed it in the Blu-ray.
Yeah, I think so. So yeah. So it is a build up. You get the nice little moment of Bruno holding Trish's hand, which
yeah. So they have that scene in the elevator, where this is like all stuff that I've forgotten. Like I totally forgot about. I remember the scene in the elevator. I forgot about the hand bit, and I was like, oh wow, that's really cool.
Yeah, it was a really good shot when you realize like he glances over and he like doesn't know what happened.
But it does. So now that like knowing how his bullshit works, how King Crimson's bullshit works. It's interesting trying to piece together like how this scene actually works. So the part where they're in the elevator, it's like, okay, so what really happened here? So we see later on there's a hole in the ceiling, and that Trish's hand is completely severed, like perfectly severed.
They love this part especially, like not including Kier from part 4. This part also loves the hands getting cut off as well.
Yeah,
it's like if Reki had a real like. He was thinking about hand being cut off, but yeah. So I guess he was waiting on the elevator happening. All right, so I'm pretty sure he was sitting on the elevator. He when the elevator started moving, he King Crimson busts a hole, cut the hand because King Crimson has the ultimate like punch hand power.
He has extreme punch.
Grabbed her and then wore off when he got off the top the what's it called? On the elevator, and then that's when Bruno notices he goes up and sees him like on like the elevator.
Yeah,
or going down the elevator.
Yeah, to me the weird thing of it is the idea that it kind of seems like, at least when this was planned, maybe let me just jump into Rocky's head, that King Crimson was stopping time or was freezing all time, rather than what we learn later or how it's explained later. Let's say in the next episode, where everything in time is moving properly, just no one knows it. Because how the reveal happens is Bruno doesn't really realize that Trish is fucking got her hand chopped off.
Yeah.
And then the hand sort of explodes with blood as if it hadn't happened already.
Yeah. Just like...
So that's where it's a little... I mean, it's the classic, like, Jojo, like, we got a weird reveal, a confusing reveal for a new stand power.
Yeah, and putting by like what the manga said, it says a dozen odd seconds, so not really precise of how long it was.
Yeah, I was always under the impression that King Crimson could use Epitaph for 10 seconds. Sorry, wait, so...
this is just the introduction of what King Crimson does, like his stand, and it was before I guess he thought of Epitaph maybe, or what the little like other head was.
Okay, so... Alright, let's to the best of our ability explain King Crimson, or at least how it's portrayed in this.
I can read the actual like stand.
Okay, read what the fucking stand page says, because this is like years and years of pain have come around.
So first of all, his stats: destructive power A makes sense. Speed A, I guess because of his stand. His range is E. It makes sense because all he does is punch. Permanence is E.
Permanence? When is this a thing?
I don't know.
Is that durability?
I guess so.
Where is it on the location?
It's at the bottom left.
Oh, fuck. I don't know how that works. It's got to be durability, right? Because that's
I guess
the only
so.
one.
Precision is question mark?
Which, fucking... stats are bullshit.
He's pretty accurate punching.
Yeah, King Crimson has great precision.
It has question mark growth. I don't think he... I guess he has pretty high growth.
Question mark. I fucking hate stand stats. Stand stats are bullshit. Okay, just read the description.
All right. Simply put, this stand can skip through time. More precisely, it erases a dozen odd seconds of time, during which only it can act. During this period, it also sees the action of others as a forecast-esque image. When time is erased, no human or life in the world will experience this period of time, and of course, they will retain no memories of it. Either birds in flight and the hands of clocks will appear to teleport, and one will not be able to remember how far into a book they have read. Its weaknesses are its poor effective range and permanence, and thus it is impossible for the host to hide his identity against multiple foes.
Okay, based on that one line with the book, do you think Araki came up with the idea? Because you know the thing when you read a book and you're not really reading?
You're skimming?
You're skimming, and then you're like, wait, what is that page I just read? Do you think he literally created this because he did that? That happened to him, and he's like, wait, what? Did time just skip?
The lyric book of, like, King Crimson, and just, like, skimming it, like, oh, wait, what the heck? Oh! Like, that kind of, it hits them.
Yeah, so that's funny. But, okay, so yeah, basically, later on, it's fleshed out more, where Epitaph, which is the little face on the head, Epitaph is the one that can see what things are happening, and then King Crimson is the ability to jump forward, to this quote-unquote erasing of time.
Which we don't get that until, like, the Metallica fight.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure if he knew he was planning for Epitaph at this point or not, but...
Yeah, I don't know, because we definitely see, especially... it's so hard to fucking parse the JoJo powers sometimes, because... the big reveal at the end of this episode is Bruno that famous scene where Bruno tries to punch the pillar where he thinks the boss is, clearing the pillar, and then he is standing behind it. So, and then the Bruno who did the punch fades away, and then that Bruno behind the pillar is our Bruno. So, in this scene, it's like King Crimson says, or Duvala, whatever you want to say, I'm letting you see the thing. So it's like he's giving him the ability to see what's happening, just to like fucking taunt him, because he's got that much power. Yeah.
So, and then basically after she disappears, we get the whole Bruno child flashback.
Oh yeah, we should mention that. So, like when we watched this episode last week, obviously, and I was kind of anticipating that we were gonna get the flashback here based on the chapter, and I love seeing little Bruno. He's very cute and also is very sad. I really just like talking about King Crimson more, but I really do love Bruno's whole thing with his dad, how he chose, because he knew, even though he loves his mom, it's like every little boy loves their mom, but he knew that his dad needed him more, which I think is very...
He's like, my mom's strong enough to get over it.
Yeah.
My dad needs me, and then his dad sees a drug trade, gets like beaten up to near death, or shot. He gets shot to near death.
Yeah, he gets pretty much gets caught with the wrong people.
Yeah, so, and then they try to kill him while he's in the hospital, like, brutally stabs both of them and kills them.
Yeah, I love how fucking brutal, like, Bruno...
Also, I love Bruno's outfit with the kid, like, he has this, it's like, they have, like, the flashback of, like, them and their, like, outfit that are prototypes of, like, the ones they have now, like, Fugo's and...
Fugo has a couple holes, he's starting to branch out with holes.
He evolves, he's, like, level 1 gangster and evolves to, like, level 100, like, Swiss cheese.
Also, nothing made me laugh harder than the fucking reverse black and white.
His funeral outfit?
Yeah, when Bruno goes to his father's funeral and he's wearing the reverse black and white version of Bruno's suit, I fucking cry.
It's so freaking good. But, so yeah, we get that thing. Also, like, the reason why Bruno hates drugs, too.
Yeah, this is the whole point of this, is to set up Bruno as, like, a counter figure to the boss and, like,
the main
give him, like, a very clear ideological reason to be opposed to, like, the way that the boss has been running.
Yeah. So, then we continue with, like, Bruno's, like, chasing of the boss. And then chasing to, like, the basement of the, cathedral. And we get, like...
Sorry, so yeah, like, I just love this kind of... If you think about the scene, like, Bruno's carrying Trish's, like, cut off hand the whole time.
I know.
Because he already has it in his head. He's like, I gotta reattach this.
It's Kira-ness in him. Of, like, having to hold these women hands, these young lady hands. But, so yeah. He chases the ball who's slowly sliding down.
It's very shitty looking.
It is. But then he throws, like, the Giorno's brooch perfectly on the boss's ass. It, like, lands so perfectly.
I thought it hits Trish's butt. Oh, no, it just hit the boss's ass.
Yeah, it hits the boss's ass.
And he doesn't notice.
His little onesie. But, yeah. So, he basically takes him to the basement, and then we have, like, the first standoff with him, and we get, like... I guess the first kind of like tease and then of him, like what the ability does.
Yeah.
And then you get the famous punch.
Yeah, I really loved the fucking reveal of King Crimson. I love that they have King Crimson actually talking.
Yeah.
And so this is something I wanted to bring up. Is so later on, I'm sure we'll talk about this later when Diavolo actually gets revealed. But King Crimson's whole thing of being like two people in one body, sort of split personality, and in my mind, like Diavolo is King Crimson.
Yeah.
And I think later on we kind of, once they're separated, because we have like this is spoiler for the very end. Like we have Doppio getting put into Bruno's body and Diavolo being misplaced from a body, so he is just King Crimson. So yeah, I guess I guess we should talk about the next episode.
Yeah, because it just ends with a punch to the chest, which is like the most iconic image.
And I fucking love that sound effect.
Yeah, they do a lot of that in the next episode. That splurt noise, and it's also like the common occurrence of characters getting donut in Jojo, like him, Cat Queen, and Koichi.
I did have a donut today.
Koichi's the only one that survived a donut punch. Yeah.
Wait, when does Koichi get donut?
In the Killer Queen, when him and Jojo have to fight Killer Queen, he gets donut. I
forgot about that.
Yeah.
And then Bruno has a partial survive of it. Well, okay, so this is another thing that I really like, and something that really, when I was reading part 5, I was very fascinated with, and we don't really get a real explanation, but Bruno just being a zombie, essentially, I think is really interesting.
Are we going right to that?
Yeah, I guess. I like a little less, like, more free-form discussion.
All right.
Personally, we always have the episodes playing in the background just so that we don't forget shit.
That's like a huge thing that's like very, very. I guess not right. I sure it's talked about, but like
I think it's very easily forgotten about because it's pretty inconsequential.
They could have just easily had him be alive for this stuff, but like they just chose to make him like a weird zombie kind of thing.
Yeah, and I think it really is just supposed to emphasize like fate, like the sort of gravity of King Crimson. Like, even though Bruno kind of cheats death here, there's no true escaping destiny.
Like his resolve is so heavy that like he's just still living in like a dead body.
Mm-hmm. Like because King Crimson's power is so strong, it's Bruno's destiny to die here, and the whole part is about like destiny and like the sleeping slaves who submit to it, and the people who try and rise up to meet their destiny or to challenge it. Which we see fucking Gold Experience Requiem just kind of fucking everything up.
I thought like part 5 would be like the sins of the father thing, kind of with like Trish and Diablo, like Giorno and like Dio, like doing better than what your father. You shouldn't be like suffer from what your father does, or like have it really like hurt you more. Yeah, but it doesn't really happen.
Yeah, contrary, because like part 5 doesn't really harp on the whole legacy as much. The legacy of the Joestar legacy.
Because even then, Trish doesn't really have a standoff with Diablo towards the end, and Giorno never really gets that kind of stuff with. If anything, he should have had that in part 6 if Giorno decided to show up, but he didn't.
Yeah, which whatever, fuck that. Still. So I think it is kind of interesting, and I know skipping parts is like not a good idea, and you should never skip parts, but part 5 would probably be the easiest to jump into. And I think that's what happened in Italy. Like, I think they just started publishing, I forget what they called it. Like, it's like La Bizarre Adventure, Jojo's, but it's spelled like Jojo, like Geo. And I think they just went right into that in Italy. Like, they just started, like, publishing it as a manga, which is interesting.
It's kind of interesting because, like, other than, like, the Koichi, Jotaro, like, kind of like them having a small appearance in the early part.
Okay. Alright,
so, and yeah, then having, like, what's it called? Polnareff is the only thing that's, like, a major character showing up. It's kind of, like, a big deal, but I guess from Italy, it's just, like...
And it's, like, a last-minute, like, sort of surprise, too. Yeah. It's not, like, it doesn't have to do with, like, the legacy of characters, really. It's more of, like, oh my gosh, like, this great, fun surprise twist.
The main character that, like, the only one that hadn't showed up from, like, a part 3 crew is, like, back.
Yeah.
Fucked up, but back. It's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazier too when you see him in a wheelchair. Like, oh my god, what the fuck happened to him? Like that, where it just looks like a guy in a chair, like the smart guy in the chair, giving them intelligence, kind of shit.
And it's because it's not really that much time has passed if you think about it. Like, from
80, it probably was like what 80,
15 years, I think.
Yeah, they go on the adventure in 80s. Yeah, probably 15 years, but
because I'm trying to think. I always forget when part 3 takes place. I think it's late 80s. I think it's supposed to be like 87.
I thought it was 88.
Because then part 4 is 1999. 1999. From the one OP. But, yes.
It's a serialized, no.
This is dead air.
No, you can fill it in.
I fucking love the part when Bruno gets chopped through his side and he's like, I'm not going to use my stand to heal this. Like,
I was like, you're going to rant about the zombie.
Oh, not really a rant. It's something that I'm really interested in as an idea that they don't.
It begins in 87.
Okay, so yeah, that's what I don't know if I said that out loud, but that in my head. Yeah, so we have that interesting sort of, even though it isn't that much time, because part 5 takes place like the summer of 2001.
Yeah.
Very specific days, actually, I think.
Yeah, but, it's like a bunch of days they go for each fight in the early part, but then like the last after this is like 2 days.
Yeah, because it's like kind of on the run, sort of trying to get shit done.
Yeah. So we have that. We have this. I think the really cool fight with Bruno and the boss. It's really awesome. And that the thing we forgot about was like when the pin turned into a
Coco.
It had turtle cells in it. And
yes.
So weird. He like it had like a stand too, because they trap the boss in it. Then he throws it into like the pipes underwater under the.
So okay, let's like walk through what happens here. So Giorno, I really wish I remember.
He gave him his brooch.
So he takes the brooch off
and gives it to Bruno.
So okay, here's what I think happened. So in the time when Giorno put his eyeball back in. With one of the birches where he turns on his birches with an eyeball, he just like grabs a little tiny cell from fucking Coco Jumbo, turns it into another brooch that he's going to use later. So then this other brooch, which was Coco Jumbo or piece of Coco Jumbo, now turns into a full version of Coco Jumbo that doesn't have the key.
Doesn't have the key, but
has a stand.
Yeah, it has stand power. It has Mr. President. I'm pretty sure.
Yes. So I always forget. Is Mr. President the stand?
Yes.
Okay, so Giorno's ability is so broken that it can literally clone humans or any organism with their stand.
He can make stands. Copies.
So why didn't this is like my fan theory?
I don't think.
He
probably could make humans, but I don't think he is in his character to make a human.
Why doesn't he just take a cell off of Fugo and then make another Fugo so that Fugo can join them and also not leave?
But would he be a genetic clone? Or would he be...
would he be a perfect copy?
Would he be a perfect copy, a genetic clone?
So that's the thing that's crazy is like, so Coco Jumbo here, the clone, let's call him Clone Co Jumbo.
Do you really want more than one purple haze in the world?
Yes. So yeah, I just think it's insane here that Giorno's gold experience is so overpowered. This might be the most overpowered thing that he does. He can completely create a new organism with a fully powered stand.
Until Requiem comes around?
Honestly, I'm going to say this is more powerful than Requiem. This is the ability to create infinite stands.
But can he control them? Because like the only thing they go back to like, or like they're attracted to go back to like their origin.
Yes.
We know that. So would the other Fugo just be wanted to go back to the other Fugo nonstop?
I wish I knew.
Because the other Coco Jumbo is probably trying to get to the original Coco Jumbo, but he can't make it there because it's so slow, and he's in the sewers now.
The poor turtle. Oh no! This is what's gonna happen. The turtle's gonna drown. Because it's a tortoise. It's not a turtle. Tortoises can't swim.
Oh, there we go.
So this clone, Bruno or Bruno mercilessly kills.
Yes, Bruno kills him. He throws him in there.
Oh yeah, it's Bruno. Well, I guess it's also like Giorno's condemning him to death just by making this thing exist. Whatever.
Oh, maybe he didn't know Bruno's gonna chuck him into the sewers.
That's true. He didn't know that.
So yeah, so we get the whole fight. Bruno gets Trish out, and they did the whole visual again, like the dust coming out with like the
sort of
orbs.
glowing. Yeah.
Yeah, so we got that effect, which is cool. He tried to repair him, but I love seeing Sticky Fingers. Like all the zippers were going away. Like off of Trish's, like her arm didn't heal all the way, so like her wrist was like bleeding again. But like I thought, like all his zippers were going away. So like the ones inside the bathroom were like the one like the one treasure or like was heading that it was just like.
Oh, with the urinal. Oh well, okay. Actually, so
just open all the urinal, just a giant hole there.
Okay, well, I don't know about that, though.
Oh, yeah.
Just because Bruno has a range.
Or maybe he's...
And when you're out of Bruno's stand range, then it stops affecting you.
But then again, I think we talked about it when we had the episode where it's probably just a hole in the wall that you can only get there with the zippers, but I like to believe that it just, like, breaks and there's all this treasure just, like, leaking out.
Because then we also have the time where Bruno... in the last episode where he put the cell phone in his face. Yeah. So it wasn't like he actually had a cell phone inside there.
Lucky cell phone's not there anymore.
But also it's on his body, so his range it'd be relevant.
He also has a void there, like I think, because I don't think it'd be comfortable to have like a freaking phone right here.
I don't know. Maybe he's into that kind of stuff.
I don't know. It's like a weird thing.
That'd be funny if you pause it when he is opening his mouth, like you can see like the cell phone is like inside his mouth.
Oh, gross. I can't do that kind of like. Ugh.
Body horror.
Yeah, the face, like facial body horror more than anything.
Yeah, it's pretty creepy.
Like that and nails.
I love how they have the same sweat. Oh, never mind.
Also, like the fact that like King Crimson is like climbing up to like try to reach him alone. Like the boss is like nowhere in the sight. So like
weird visual, especially since stands can fly.
Also, the fact that like is the ball like hanging on the King Crimson or like.
It doesn't look like it. Yeah. It sure doesn't look like it.
And, like, it says it doesn't have, like, a high range. His, like, one con that he needs to be up close and personal for his range. So, like, I don't know.
That's I just fucking love King Crimson's design. I'm so happy they went with the red and white color scheme.
I'm glad. Yeah, I'm really glad, too.
I love his weird, like, fisheye, like...
Yeah.
King Crimson's so fucking cool.
I just love, like, Epitaph has little chubby cheeks, too, like, when he reacts.
Yeah. Epitaph looks really good. I'm really happy with how they... did Epitaph.
Yeah, but then at the end we get the whole thing with I know we didn't talk about like them outside realizing King Crimson's effect is happening, like the chocolate on the face.
It's a really fun scene though.
It's a really fun scene and just like another like showing you what the power kind of is. But yeah, we get the famous scene of them getting on the boat to see who becomes the traitor and who doesn't. Mm-hmm. Which, everybody goes to for
our boy Fugo.
No one's boy's Fugo. Except for people who like the light novels. Yeah. Which people want an OVA for, but...
Which, I'm sure they'll do that in between part 7
I can see a mini like 6 episode, like, just like do something in between this and part 6.
Well, yeah, they did do 2 Bruno OVAs, so it's potential that they could do...
I mean, there is the, there's 2 Fugo stories, so... Yeah. There's one where he's, like, comes back and is the protagonist, and there's the one where he's, like, kind of an antagonist figure.
Does that take place like during this?
One
Does it take place during part 5?
Yeah, one takes place after they betray. I think it's like after Clash and and then there's like the other one takes place like at the very end. So who knows? Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, so they all get away or run away. I just kind of love like each of theirs like reasonings to join them.
Yeah, I really do love that. Like, I mean, everything we talk about because just also applies to the manga. Like, I love this whole scene where they're like. You can see they're all going through it, and like all the reactions are slightly different.
Yeah, we talked about this before though, like before we recorded, but like we're pretty sure we feel like the boss would just kill them because they were like in the way or like relate or like close to Bruno, something that like we're just gonna send people after him to fuck with Bruno because how Mafia probably would do it.
So yeah, I know it's quote unquote canon that Purple Haze feedback is a thing, and like Fugo does live after this, but it can only make sense that. The boss, seeing Fugo alone on this island, would kill him. Easily. Very easily kill Fugo. Yeah. Pick him off one. Because the boss's literal motive is, I can't attack them all because there's no way that... It's not even that he's worried about losing. He's worried about the secret of King Crimson being found out.
Or his identity.
Yeah, his identity being
and again, maybe he's the one stand he doesn't want to fight, like, trying to go near is Purple Haze.
That is also... likely. I guess that would kind of make sense. I just don't understand, like, what is Fugo's next move here? Because he does have to leave the island. Like,
yeah. How does he get out of the island? I don't know. I mean, the whole thing was originally supposed to be... probably, a lot of people know the stories of this, people who read past it, but, like, Fugo was supposed to be working with the boss. Yeah. So, which makes sense because I see him coming with Fugo and like it's like our next step, but Araki didn't want like them to fight a good friend or something like that.
Which I wish he'd done. I wish that Fugo had been an antagonist.
I would love to see them have to try to deal with Fugo, but I guess they kind of replaced that with like Green Day.
Yeah,
because like it's kind of like a virus, kind of like it's a mold, but like it's still like a virus that kills you in like quickly.
Yeah, it definitely has the same kind of like same dangers to it.
Yeah,
but I think it would have been because one of the things from like a meta standpoint is like Purple Haze. It feels like Purple Haze was removed from the equation because he is too powerful.
Yeah,
and that he like it's hard to work around him except like with Giorno's bullshit. But so in the reverse side of that, it would be fascinating to see them fight Purple Haze.
Yeah. That's one of my favorite things in Eyes of Heaven. They have a team-up movie with like him and Narancia where he shoots the pods in the air and you shoot them in midair with Aerosmith. I'm like, that's really cool. I'm glad they had that original like.
Yeah, that's one thing I wish they'd do more. I know the games are a lot of fan service, but I wish they would
have more of those team-ups.
Yeah, because I think they do a few with
they have a
like Jolene and Hermes have a neat one with like Jolene getting like a bunch of arms and doing punches. I don't think that's in the manga.
Don't think so. Like I love like the ones like Dio and Giorno is really good.
Oh, the Dio Giorno one. I've watched that scene so many times because it's like. I don't know. I fucking love it. It makes me happy.
It's been pissed like Diablo and Tristan didn't get like the only big parent one that didn't get. Jotaro and Jolene have one. Like I really wish like that every parent got one.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
This would be some weird Spice Girl like King Crimson like bullshit. That would have been awesome.
Yeah. That would have been really fun, especially because Spice Girl's so underutilized.
Like, how crazy would it have been to have, like, Diego and, like, Dio have one, instead of just, like, Vampire... No, only Vampire Dio and Dio for Part 3 have one, where, like, the eye laser...
I fucking love that one, too.
Where he stops time.
He stops time while the eye laser's already out, and he, like, tilts his head. Oh, people listening to this, if you haven't seen in the game Eyes of Heaven, is it Eyes of Heaven?
Eyes of Heaven.
They've done a lot of, like, sort of fan-servicey, tag, what are they called? Dual heat attacks, I think.
Dual heat attacks, yeah.
And they've made some up. So yeah, the ones to watch are Dio and Dio, and then Giorno and Dio, because they do like a father-son thing, and it's like, oh, my heart.
A lot of them are really good.
My fangirl inside me is screaming.
The really good Josuke and Rohan one.
I forget that one.
He makes the end. He writes on Heaven Door the take. I will go like really fast ascending. But he didn't warn Josuke about it, so he just comes at him. Like, he like, gets hit by him, so he just punches the guy.
Mm-hmm.
There's some really good ones in there. Even like Joshu and Gappy. It's like really weird.
Which is just like a reference to like one of the first issues.
That the games only do the friction thing for the most part. Where now he has more of an arsenal, but
yeah, I wonder. Well, yeah, it's funny because when Eyes of Heaven came out, there was only so much of Part 8, so like all his moves are just like things that Gappy did. Like one of his moves is shaving, like because he does the thing where he shaves with his.
He had the taunt where he just eats the little snack or the pastry.
Oh yeah, the gooey the rice balls or whatever. If you
want to hear us more talk about Gappy's from Part 8's power, there's no other podcast, Jokaka.
Yes, listen to Jokaka.
But yeah, so that's basically the episode.
Yeah, I think we're gonna end it here.
Very good. They did a great job with King Crimson. I'm excited to see more, especially when we get to Metallica and, of course, like the final arc.
Yeah.
So, it's just really good. They did a great job. It's like one of it is like we said. It's a high point, like when it starts going to like the last arc.
For sure.
So and they did a great job, and we're gonna get the OP.
And we got a little tease at the end of I forget their names, but Talking Head and Clash Squallow and what's his face, which made me very happy.
Yeah,
because
there's too many Italian names to remember.
I know, I should remember them because they're all food, and I love fucking food.
Yeah, so we're getting them teased. They're gonna be next, but I'm guessing next 2-part after the special is gonna be them, which. So we got 3 weeks probably before we record another one of these.
And then we've got another Jokaka when that drops, which is always in the middle of the month, around the 18th, I think.
Yeah, usually around. But if it was after a hiatus month, so it could be early since Araki is kind of crazy like that. Yeah. So who knows? But yeah, thank you for listening.
Yeah, thanks for listening. I've been Jim.
And I'm Sam. Please like, comment, subscribe.
Oh,
Thank
yes.
you.
Sorry, I forgot. Thank you. Like, comment, subscribe. Tell us what you liked about the episode. Tell us what you hated about our podcast. And tell us why you wake up in the morning.
Give us your elevator pitch for King Crimson, how it works.
Yeah, try and explain King Crimson in as few words as possible.
That
isn't just he erases
to
time.
an idiot who never watched too much JoJo or read too much into JoJo, just how would you pitch it to them in really in a sentence or two? So yeah, there you go.
All right, I've been Jim.
I'm Sam. Bye.